What's this mean to you to be able to get this taste of not only the playoffs, but playoff success already?
It means a lot. It's something that I was looking forward to throughout the year, and I think once we started playing the first game, I had a little bit more excitement and jump just over the last few years not being able to do it. And I played playoff hockey before, but when you get to this level and it's more of a series, it's a little different. So I was definitely excited for that opportunity.
How easy will it be to continue the momentum that you built up against Chicago?
Yeah, I think we want to know what we did, but we also want to turn the page and focus on a new opponent. I think that was just a new standard for us, and we know our ceiling's high, so just kind of having a good week of practice and resetting.
I was talking to Kevin a little bit, and he was like, I just want to get this thing going a little bit. How hard is that to have maybe a little bit of a longer break between series, and how hard is it to kind of get things going once that series does get underway?
Yeah, we were rolling and the energy was high, so it would be nice to have maybe like a Tuesday game or something, but it's part of the deal, and I think we just got to use the rest to our advantage and come out buzzing on Thursday.
Does it go the same way with Milwaukee having even more time off than you guys did, obviously playing last week? Does that kind of help you guys with that matchup going into it?
I mean, we'll see. I don't know what their week has been like, but it could be a positive, but it could also be negative as well, so we'll see how they handle it.
And then what was just kind of the takeaways from that Chicago series? What were some of the things you guys were able to see on tape and kind of take a look at what needs to be worked on before getting into Milwaukee?
Yeah, we didn't do too much tape on the Chicago series. We obviously did in the moment, but now that the new week started, we're kind of focusing on Milwaukee a little more. But I think we just kind of saw our new ceiling and what our team was capable of, and it kind of took everyone in the room to make that series work. So I think just building on that's kind of the mindset.
When you think Milwaukee Admirals, what are some of the first thoughts that come into your head about that team?
Yeah, they're a deep team. They're older. They got some big guys on the back end, so we played them a bunch of times. We know what they are. They know what we are. So we've had these series before, but obviously when it gets to playoffs, it's a little different. But I think it's a good matchup for us, and we're excited.
I think they're third in the league in fewest goals allowed, and their PK's right up there too. Is there something they do different defensively that you don't see very often in the league?
They boxed out hard. I think that's a big thing. It's hard to get to their net fronts. They got some big D that they push you to the outside. So a big thing for us is we want to get to the inside. We want to take the goalie's eyes away. I think the power play is going to be huge as well. It's been a little on and off lately, so I think dialing it in this week and kind of getting pucks to the net and finding some seams and working the puck low will be big.
How good does it feel, especially coming out of the Chicago series? It felt like maybe this was the first time in a while that you have a full group of what you're capable of. Does that have you guys feeling pretty confident going into this series?
Yeah, for sure. I think with this year, guys going up and some injuries and all that, we've had a lot of different rosters and a lot of different guys coming in and out. So right now, having a bunch of guys back down and a lot of excitement playing in playoffs here is really exciting, and it's been good so far.
More specifically, what does Colton Dach bring from playing with him, from your experience playing with him? What does he bring to the ice now that he's returning, and just especially in this playoff series?
Yeah, he brings a ton of value to our group. He's obviously big, strong, can move. He kind of does it all. So I think adding him to our group will be really important against a big team like Milwaukee, and getting him pucks down low and having him crash in front of the net. I think he'll be able to pot a couple goals there.
And you got to be dying to get out there and play some game action. I mean, how much are you dying to get out there on the ice and be in a game?
Yeah, no, it'll be very exciting to get back into a game on Thursday. I mean, just kind of coming down and watching, the guys play, and even watching the NHL playoffs. It just kind of gets you itching to get back out there, and you want to go out there and make an impact. So, I'm really looking forward to Thursday.
So, having been an observer up to this point, what do you think of this group and how they played against Chicago?
Yeah, I was really happy with the guys. I think I'm really proud of them to how they play. Being physical, hard on pucks, and playing the right way. So, I think that's what we got to take into the series against Milwaukee and play hard, and it's just a smart game, and I think we'll like our outcome.
What are some of the things that you've learned from your time in Chicago that you're excited to bring back down here and kind of get going again, especially in this playoff setting?
I think just the consistency factor for me. Every night you're battling for a spot for a job, you're trying to take it from someone. So, come down here and just try and play my best hockey and then be, an impact where I can be, whether that's physical or shooting pucks or just kind of being a pest in front of the net.
What was the energy like here? I don't know if you were here on Friday night, but I don't know if you saw any of the clips. But the energy here on Friday night, you've been a guy who's down here. Just what's it like to play down here in Rockford?
Yeah, it's awesome to see that emotion from guys. I think that's what kind of builds that energy, like you said, and trying to get the crowd engaged. Obviously, when you're in another team's rink, you want to take that energy from the crowd, and that's something we have to do early, and just try and play our game, not get too carried away by it.
How is it to balance, coming off an injury, but also being in a physical playoff, experience? How easy is it to balance, knowing what your body can handle, but also knowing that you have to, kick it up a notch for the playoffs?
Yeah, I think for me, my game is very physical, so it's not really gonna be too much of a change when I come back from injury, but I'm not gonna try and be something I'm not also. So I'm just gonna go out there and play my game, and I think I've been skating a lot, doing a lot of cardio, doing a lot of battles to try and make sure I'm ready. So I'm gonna go out there and just try and play my game and be physical where I can be.
How much of a difference when it comes down to a series and knowing that you're going to play a team minimum 3 times here in a row? How much does that change the way you guys prepare going into? And I know it's game by game, but how much does that change the preparation?
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of them. So first game for me, I'm just going to try and be physical early and try and let them know that I'm going to be there every single shift, every single period. I'm going to be right in front of them, right in their face, and just try and be a physical aspect and. Obviously play offense as well, and then just make sure that we're in good positions in the D zone. But yeah, I think we're going to do our best to let them know that we're going to be coming every shift.
I saw you there on Wednesday night, and I'd assume that wasn't mandatory for you to be there. What does that say about the connection that you felt, even being up with Chicago and keeping tabs on how things are going down here and still being ingrained in this culture as well?
Yeah, I know. I was really excited to come see the guys. I was happy some of them traveled to hang out with them, but it's definitely missed the guys down here and excited to get back and looking forward to Thursday, like I said.